I want to share with you a story today about one of the most pivotal moments in my life. It's a story that I don't often tell, but it's a story that has so much significance to the amount of success that I've been able to create over the past couple of years. And it all kind of started about 3 years ago when I first came back home to Canada, and I had previously been living in Sweden and been traveling all over the world working on a project, and I had chosen to come back home to Canada and was going through a really hard breakup, and had come back into the country with only being able to afford my flight into the country and a couple of months rent. And I was in one of those places in my life where everything had crumbled down around me, and the only thing I was really left with was the faith and knowing that there was something so much greater out there for me. And so I'll never forget one of these moments in my life where, you know, I didn't have very much money for groceries, and I'll never forget going to the dollar store with one of my best friends and crying because I realized that nothing there was $1, and I could barely afford toilet paper, and I was going to restaurants around the corner from my house to go in and take some of their toilet paper so that I didn't have to spend the money on that. And what happened during that time is what happens to most of us when we're going through a big transition phase and we're in scarcity and we're having problems with finances and we're feeling disconnected from our purpose, and when the world feels like every single thing is falling apart and all you can do is trust that it's not chaos, it's cleansing, that life is just clearing away everything that is no longer serving you so that you can step up and firstly serve yourself and then hopefully serve others. And so what basically happened to me was that I started stressing and grinding and pushing and trying to force myself into creation and try and force myself into making money and try and force myself in getting back into my business and trying to force everything. And it ended up causing me so much stress and anxiety and sleepless nights, and the harder I tried, the worse it got. And so I sat with myself one day and I had to have a really real moment with myself. I had to have a really nice one-on-one talk with myself, and I had to really ask myself, is this what I'm committed to? Am I committed to stress? Am I committed to force? Am I committed to anxiety? Am I committed to scarcity? Because what I was committed to in that moment, my fear was pulling me more into the service of scarcity than it was into the idea of faith and creativity and flow. And so I began asking myself a very simple question, but it's a very powerful question, and it was this: what if it could be easier? I was in a place where it was already hard enough. I couldn't afford toilet paper, you know? And I'm like, how much worse can it get? It can't get any worse. I have nothing to lose. So I promised myself and I dedicated myself to a year of going with the flow rather than force. And every single time I wanted to create something out of scarcity and create something out of force and create something out of stress, I would unplug literally from my computer and disconnect myself from life and stress, and I would go for a walk. Now this is what I began to call gratitude walks, and it was so powerful because it was my commitment to myself and in shifting my reality. It was my commitment to myself in allowing things to be easier. It was my commitment to myself to focus on the positive, even if it was being grateful for the air in my lungs and the stars in the sky and the sun in the sky. And I began gratitude walking, and so my life began to shift the moment I began to shift. And I know it sounds, you got a lot of people out there talking about the law of attraction and telling you these principles, but I can promise you, it is so powerful, and all it takes is 20 minutes a day. So I wanted to share this practice with you. What has happened since then is nothing short of a miracle. Not only do I have thousands of people from around the world gratitude walking in countries like Sweden, United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, where I am right now, currently finishing a gratitude walk. I'm sitting on the most beautiful beach, which I'll take a shot of after this. You can see where I have found myself and where I've actually gotten to from that woman a few years ago who couldn't even afford toilet paper. And so people all over the world are doing gratitude walks. I've created, I've created retreats all over the world in Bali and in different countries and workshops in Sweden, and I have helped thousands of people from around the world connect to their purpose, make their visions a reality, help them make their heart-centered mission something that they can actually use as a tool for creating more income and impact, right? Because we can't serve if we're starving. That's what I realized really, really quick. So I just wanted to share with you what a gratitude walk is, and I hope that you will make it a part of your practice. If not, just try it for a week and see what it does to your mind, body, heart, and spirit, to just commit yourself to 20 minutes a day of gratitude. So step one, firstly, do it every day, but most importantly, do it in the times when you're most stressed out, when you're about to force something. Commit yourself to going into flow. Strap on your sneakers, your sandals, or your boots if you're like me in Canada in the winter, and get out there. Put pedal to the metal, and with every step you take, you find something else to be grateful for. So, like I said, even if it's for the shoes on your feet, for the air in your lungs, that's not an only thing, right? These are the miracles and the things that we should be grateful for that we often discount because we're striving for something else. So that's step number one. Step number two is to set an intention for your gratitude walk. If I'm filling a retreat, doing one of my retreats, I'll gratitude walk in gratitude for the transformations that have already happened for the women. And with every step I take, I will visualize that success. When I was in the place of not being able to afford toilet paper, my intention was just to be grateful for the solution that had already presented itself. I dedicated myself to getting into the frequency of the solution and not stressing during my walk about the future, but just being in the present moment gratitude. So that's step number two, set an intention. Step number three, and I love this step because it really gets you out of your head and into your heart. Each and every month I create a different playlist for my gratitude walk. What that does is it anchors in the experience into my DNA. Not only does music help you elevate your spirits, right? But it actually can help you anchor in the experience and the gratitude from the walk. So what I would do is if I got back home, and not if, but when I started stressing about life, when I started believing that it couldn't be easier, I would put the playlist back on and it would instantly raise my vibration. Now, I'm not saying that I'd be riding high every single time and feeling like I was floating on a unicorn in the clouds, but what I am saying, it would make me 1, 2, 3 degrees more positive than I was before. And believe me, I never could have created the success I've created out of the scarcity that I was in. And since then, I've gone from not being able to afford toilet paper to creating a multiple six-figure business. I've created global impact, and I'm able to help other people do the same. And I can really tell you that it started with those two simple things. What if it could be easier? Really asking yourself that question and seeking to find an answer, and going on daily gratitude walks. So I hope this video served you. I hope you love the idea of gratitude walks, and I hope you'll join myself and the thousands of other people doing gratitude walks from around the world. If you're committed to doing gratitude walks this week, comment below and let me know. Tag a friend in this video and hashtag gratitude walk. Let's do this together. Let's walk into 2019 with more positivity than we've ever had before. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, give it a like. Give it a heart if you're on Facebook, and hit the subscribe button and the notifications tab, because I'm here doing videos every single Wednesday, helping you get the tools to create a more successful life. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and I wish you the most incredible day ahead, filled with more gratitude now than hopefully when you started watching this video. So we'll speak soon, guys. See you later.